Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 100. Yes, we are here in episode 100 of the Rise Up and Share Your Soul's Medicine podcast. I'm so delighted to be here with you. I know some of you have been here since episode one. And if you're here for the first time, this is perfect. But as I've been sharing, I've been so excited nearing episode 100. I felt like that was such a milestone for all of us together. And I really wanted to make it special. And so I'm so excited to gather here with you. I just arrived from Ireland. Well, not just, but last Friday. It got extended because of flight delays and all sorts of things. And so it really was like a spiritual pilgrimage. And I was able to lay down so much, to receive so much, to really integrate. And it feels perfect that the first episode I do coming back is this episode about blessing, about you, that you are here to bless and be blessed. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to do a special mantra together. And just like as I kept tuning in, oh my gosh, I looked up and I literally saw a butterfly right outside my window, which even though there's many butterflies here in Mexico, oh my gosh, here it is again. I'm on the top floor here of our home and they don't often come up right there. So yay, butterfly, it keeps flying around. Okay, I'm gonna focus. But anyway, transformation. So as I was thinking of 100 episodes, I kept feeling the Divine Mother really talking about blessing, 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 100 blessings, blessing, you're here as a blessing. And so I knew, okay, in the 100th episode, we're going to gather together, not only to celebrate, yay, but also to receive and to activate and to attune ourselves. So let me back up a little bit for those of you who might be new. My name is Lisa Espinosa. I'm a spiritual career coach and priestess. And the work that I do is all about helping you to share your soul's gifts with joy, with impact, in a way that blesses you. And as you do that, also creating a soul-led life, because I have realized, and I always knew this, but it's becoming more and more clear, that sharing your unique gifts, what I call your soul's medicine, is holistic. It's integrated. It's not at the expense of your life, even though many of us have had that experience before in this or other lifetimes. It's actually, we are in the greatest service when not only are you sharing your unique gifts, but your life is led by your soul. You're creating a soul-led life. That is one of the most important ways that we bless the world. So that's what I do here in the podcast as I coach my clients and my monthly offers and so on. So let's talk about blessing. And it's so exciting to see all of you here. And honestly, when I was preparing for this podcast, I decided, like, let me look up the definition of blessing. And there was so much religious stuff that came up, not surprising. And it really made me understand, like, oh, wow, the ego structure, the ego mind. If you've heard me before, you know, I talk about that a lot, right? When I talk about the ego, thank you so much, everyone. When I talk about the ego, I'm talking about it from a spiritual perspective. We have a soul. We are a soul having a human experience. And part of that human experience is we have an ego structure. And the ego is the part of us that believes we are separate from our source. So when I was looking up all these definitions on blessing, there was so much I could see, like, oh my gosh, the programming of the ego, right? There was so much like having God's favor, being protected by God, you know, the implication being that some people are blessed and some people are not. You have to follow certain rules to receive a blessing. You don't get blessed, right? I was really tuning into that. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I was really like, okay, what do you want me to talk about, beautiful soul and divine mother? And where this came from was several years back. I was in meditation. I was still doing Reiki hands-on. Like, I mean, I still do that if the opportunity presents itself, but most of my work, as you all know, I'm here in Mexico, and most of my work is working with a global community. A lot of it is online, although I know there's in-person retreats coming up, everyone. I'm like so excited for you to join me. That's a conversation for another time. But when I was, still in Chicago and I had clients coming to my house and I was in my healing studio and I was doing hands-on Reiki, often this phrase of "you are blessed and you are a blessing" would come up. And it came up for me as I was meditating. And I really felt, as many of you know, one of my ascended master mentors is Mother Mary. And when I bring up Mother Mary, I am definitely not talking about her from the religious perspective. And of course, I honor all spiritual paths, but religion has really put Mother Mary, as it's also put many ascended masters, in a box. So I'm talking of Mother Mary, the spiritual leader that she was, right? The spiritual priestess that she was, the human woman that went through such a courageous journey to create her legacy of love. And so Mother Mary was really saying, "You are blessed and you are a blessing." And I remember when I heard that, a couple of things. One, it felt so true, right? Like it felt like so right. And at the same time, I had so much resistance because it felt egotistical. Isn't it interesting? It was like, well, let's break this down because this is the mantra we're going to chant together. When I thought of like, I am blessed, what it brought up for me was either, and I've noticed this when I've talked to clients and students, that it's either, no, I'm not. I mean, look at all these horrible things that are happening in my life. I'm suffering so much. There's so much lack in my life. I don't feel blessed at all. Or it could feel like guilt. Oh, but I guess I am blessed, but look at all these other people that aren't blessed. Like, I don't want to declare this. That makes me feel bad and guilty, and other people aren't blessed, right? So there's resistance to that. And then I am a blessing can feel very much, and it's interesting, all the resistance that could come up with that, right? It can be like, well, no, I'm not a blessing. I don't really have gifts to share. There's so many other people that are better at what I do. Or again, it could feel egotistical, like, oh, it feels like I'm showing off, or like I'm thinking I'm better than I am, or that I'm thinking other people aren't, and now I'm saying I'm superior to them. So it's important to unpack all of that to really get to the truth of what does it mean? What is a blessing? And why is that a divine technology that each of us, and I don't mean just us, those of you who are here watching live, or those of you who are watching the replay, I don't mean like we're special, we're the ones who can bless. No, every human has the capacity to bless and be blessed. And I believe that so many humans are blessing all the time, right? Mothers, caregivers, they might not call it a blessing, but they are blessing their children all day long, right? They are extending this intention of protection, of prosperity, of goodwill, of mercy, of compassion on their children and loved ones. That's just one example. So a lot of people are doing it unconsciously. But when Mother Mary was talking to me and my soul talking to me and realizing what as I continue in my coaching practice with my clients, I realized that, but there's a very explicit, conscious way that we can own our power of being a blesser, right? That blessing is a divine technology gifted to us by God, by Goddess, by Source, by the universe, whatever you want to name that source of love. And when we ascend, when we become enlightened, when we merge back with Source, the need for blessing disappears. We don't need blessings once we're enlightened. Blessing is needed in the earth plane, is needed here in this world. Because what blessing is remembering that we are one with Source, and that because we are one with Source, we are blessed with all of the qualities of our divine Mother, Father, God, Creator, Creatrix. That is, so when you are declaring, I am blessed, what that is saying is you're declaring, I remember I am not separate from my Creatrix, right? I am not separate from Source. Everything that is in the divine is within me. And even if in the moment you are suffering and struggling and there's certain areas of your life that feel like lack, there's no judgment. I'm not saying I feel those things. It's part of the normal human experience. But if we're here as on this spiritual path as leaders here to be of service, then it is our job, it is our commitment to remind ourselves, to remember, wait, I am blessed. I am blessed, and I am blessed, and I am a blessing. And the way I'm a blessing is in being able to see others and remember they are blessed as well. They are one with source, no matter what their external life might look like. And please, I am not suggesting that there aren't people suffering in the world. There are. That's why we're here. We're the boots on the ground, right? We're in the front line of, like, as Ascended Master Jesus said, being in the world, but not of it. And so going back to your gift, the gift that we all received of knowing that you are blessed, declaring that truth, and being the blesser that you came here to be. And there are many ways to bless others. As I said before, a lot of it happens unconsciously. You might be walking, and this happens to me all the time. As I walked this morning, I was just taking my normal morning walk. Usually I take it around our home here, but it was colder than I thought, and I was wearing just like a sleeveless top. So I was like, I'm going to take the sunnier path. And the sunnier path takes me to the historic center through this beautiful cathedral that I love. And if you've ever been to Mexico, any historic town in Mexico, there are a lot of cathedrals, like a lot. Like, you walk and you're like, oh my gosh, this cathedral is so beautiful. And then you walk half a block and you're like, oh my gosh, this other cathedral is really beautiful too. And then you walk another half block and there's another cathedral. So that's also a story for another time, right? There's different ways I can look at that. But there are certain cathedrals here in the city where I live that are just very attuned to my soul. And this one in particular has a shrine to Our Lady of Guadalupe and Joan of Arc. Like, what? Guadalupe, that's very common in Mexico, as you know. Joan of Arc, not so much. So where am I going with this? So what I was saying is, on the walk there was this beautiful man out on the street selling roses. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have roses for the 100th day. I know it's not 100 roses, but literally felt, if you saw my Instagram post, I was carrying these 20, I think it's 48 roses. I forgot how many roses. And I noticed as I was walking, as I was thinking of the podcast today, and I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, noticing how much I unconsciously bless people as I walk around. But noticing that what we're being called to do is to consciously bless, to consciously walk through our life, calling on that power of the blessing. So a couple of things, and I wrote them down here because I wanted to remember. Well, first I want to say this is not a full teaching on the divine technology of blessing. This is a slice of it, but it's going to be enough, very powerful. And so one is, a blessing comes through you, not from you. What does that mean? It's not coming from our personality self. It's not coming from our human mind. It's coming from our soul, from our divinity. So it's very different than pitying someone or rescuing someone or going into codependency with someone. That's a whole different thing. And it's important to name that, because I've recognized in me and some of the people, the many women that I've helped and supported with this, that sometimes we're scared of giving blessings because we think we're going to be so overwhelmed, right? We might be so empathetic that it might feel like, I'm opening myself up to feeling other people's pain, or to going into rescuing with others, or like, I just feel so much pity for them. It just breaks my heart. I can't even do it. That's all coming from our human mind. Blessing someone comes through you, and it is infused with compassion. Compassion is very different than pity, right? And you know it by the way you feel in your body, right? There's this knowing of, no matter how challenging your circumstances are, this divine knowing that a miracle can be like an instant away. And at first, you just having the willingness to open yourself up to be a blesser is enough. So there might be situations where you're like, I'm called to bless this person, bless this country, bless this situation, bless this whatever. But my logical mind literally cannot see how this can be solved. And that is okay, because those things cannot be solved through the logical mind. Right? So to understand that, it's like, oh, it's a divine technology. It's coming through me, not from me. It's filled with compassion. Often there will be no words, is what I wrote down. So often it's nonverbal. It might just be a feeling, an instant, a moment. But the more conscious you become of it, the more words come, right? And just allow the words to come. And I'm not saying that you have to sit there and be like, well, let me come up with this really beautiful sentence to bless this person with. Now, if that makes you happy, awesome, go for it. But this is something that we're called to do throughout the day. So it's really something that if it's coming through us, just like that, I am blessed and I'm a blessing. I wasn't thinking like, let me come up with a sentence here. It just came. Just like some of you have heard that, which now I know is a blessing, that came to me years ago when I was going through my divorce. I mean, I'm talking more than 20 years ago. And it was a very, very, very intense time in my life. Literally through my logical mind, I could not see a way out. I couldn't see how the other side wouldn't just have more pain and lots of heartbreak, and just, it seems like such an impossible situation. And the blessing that flowed through me was turn this into something beautiful. I couldn't have come up with that with my logical mind, because all my logical mind could see was pain and attack and heartbreak and shame, the opposite of beautiful. And I think my logical mind would have just said like, oh my, would have had a way lower standards, like, oh, just make this be okay. But what blessing came through was turn this into something beautiful. So that's what I mean, that as you open yourself up to be a blesser, to open that divine technology of being, asserting that you are blessed and that you are a blessing, those words will come beyond you. And then I have here, people will unconsciously ask you for blessings. Now, yes, if you are a wellness professional, as many of my clients are, a therapist, a healer, or just like a very loving, caring person, and people know that you are, people might literally ask you for a blessing. Maybe they won't say those words, but they might say, oh, could you please pray for me, or just send me healing. That's what they're asking for. They're asking for a blessing. They're asking for, could you visualize me knowing, remembering that I am one with the divine, and that whatever resource I need will appear, that a divine solution is here for me, even though I can't see it. They might not say all those words, but that's what they're asking for. So there might be people who do ask you that consciously, but a lot of humanity will not be conscious that they're asking you for a blessing. And I learned this from one of my teachers. And when she said it, I was like, oh my gosh, I totally know this. Yes. So you might be walking through the grocery store and someone might be very rude to you, right? Or impatient with you, or bump into you, or who knows what. And when you are aware of this, you in the moment, it might be just annoying or irritating or whatever. But if you remember, like, oh, first of all, the humanity is in need of blessing. And how blessed am I to remember that? And to know that sometimes people ask in unconscious ways for a blessing. Just like, when I used to teach 7th grade in the United States, for those of you who are in Europe, they were like 13, 14-year-olds. So that age is very special. They're very dear to my heart. And yes, some students were lovely and just, just were eager to learn, loved being in class, wanted to form a relationship with me, as their teacher. And other students were not. Other students, depending on a lot of factors, could be the opposite of that. And I didn't have this language back then, but when I look back, I know that I was like, oh, in their sometimes very intense, rude way, they were asking for a blessing. And humanity is the same way. They might not have the consciousness to say, I am suffering so much, and somehow I know you have a lot of light. You not because you're better than me, but maybe this is your mission in life. Maybe you've just had the resources to remember this, and I need a blessing, and I don't know how to ask for it. So I'm just going to be really rude, and this is the way that I'm asking for it. Like that happens too. And so we need to remember that as we walk through the world. Now, please hear me. This doesn't mean you don't have boundaries. This doesn't mean that you become a doormat. This doesn't mean that you go into rescuing people. That is all the human self. It literally might just be, you're just like, may you be blessed with peace. I'm sending you peace and love. And you don't have to say it out loud. You might just say it in your heart and move on. And sometimes maybe you are guided to do something else and take action. But that's really important to understand. And so let me look at my notes because I wrote like pages, but I'm not going to share all of it. The other thing that we're doing with this is that we are dismantling the religious programming around blessing, because a lot of organized religion has turned blessing, I talked about this a little bit before, but turned blessing into kind of like a commodity. Well, if you pay this amount of money, you will be more blessed by the divine, right? If you follow these rules, you will be more blessed by this. Oh, if you're the chosen one, you get to bless others, right? There's a hierarchy, and that's all created by the ego. That is literally all created by the ego structure. So we want to be really clear that this is, when we're stepping into this comes from such humility and love and service and compassion. Because we all know that we have moments in our lives still, or maybe had cycles in our lives where we forgot, where we were in so much need of being blessed, where there were those people that were blessing us, and maybe they were people that we knew. Maybe it was just those invisible angels in the background. I look back on my life and there's times where I'm like, man, I must have had people praying for me that I didn't even know about, because I was just not surrounded by a lot of humans who were supporting me. But there must have been some humans praying for me that I didn't even know about. Like maybe they saw me with my 5 kids when I was, getting food stamps. Was it food stamps? I think maybe back then it wasn't even food stamps already. Had moved on from there, public assistance. That is a humbling situation. There are a lot of judgy people out there around that. And yet there must have been people praying for me. Maybe there was somebody who saw me, this young mother with 5 kids, and was like, oh my gosh, I bless you with so much love and whatever it is I needed. And I never even knew. And it helped me. And so that's what we're here to do. Yes, you're here to bless through your work, through your soul's medicine, through your gifts, through your social media posts, through your classes, through your relationships with your clients and students and loved ones. But you're also here to bless through your presence. And, I want to read to you the card I pulled from Mother Mary today for our special 100th episode, Our Lady of Answered Prayers. I was like, okay, Mother Mary, what message do you have for us? And we've gotten this card before. This is from the Mother Mary Oracle by Alana Fairchild. I'm just going to read one little section. So take this in, everyone. This oracle brings a profound message of peace, in that your prayers are being answered now. Feeling the relief of this realization can help that answer reach us more quickly. So this is very specific. It's saying feeling the relief, like, oh, my prayer is being answered. A soft, receptive heart, rather than a heart hardened by fear or expectation of disappointment, can be touched by the divine more easily. How beautiful is that? I'm going to read that part again. A soft, receptive heart, rather than a heart hardened by fear or expectation of disappointment, can be touched by the divine more easily. And so if you feel your heart a little bit hardened, that's okay, because I feel that all the time. It's a constant prayer for me, right? was a few years back in the Guadalupe gathering where Mother Mary was like, or Our Lady of Guadalupe was like, don't be afraid to love more. And I was like, yeah, I am afraid to love more. Right? It was like, but if, it says there, a soft, receptive heart, rather than one hardened by fear or expectation of disappointment. Like if you relate to that, write it in the comments. Like I totally relate to that. Like sometimes we're afraid to even know what we want, to even ask for the blessing and the prayers because we're like, I don't want to be disappointed. What if I pray really, really hard and it doesn't happen? And then I start to believe God doesn't love me or I'm not good enough or something's wrong with me, right? It's like we harden, and the divine understands that. And so I love this card with this message of maybe that's the first blessing that we're going to receive when we get ready to chant, is to have that soft, receptive heart. And part of that is knowing that, yes, sometimes our prayers are answered in very different ways. And sometimes the answered prayer, it's like the divine actually knows, you know what, this is actually the answer to your prayer, not that one that you thought it was. And it still hurts. And part of having that receptive, soft heart is knowing like, oh my gosh, beautiful divine, or beautiful Mother Mary, or Kuan Yin, or whoever your spiritual guides are that love you unconditionally. I am so disappointed. I wanted my prayer to be answered in this way, and it hasn't been. And I'm really disappointed. Like help my disappointed heart to heal, right? So that it can remain open to the true answer to my prayer. Like I've had that many, many times in my life where I've had such a prayer, it happened, one that's coming to mind is as a teenager when I went to this high school. I was the only student in my grammar school to be accepted to this elite high school. And I was so happy. It felt like such an answered prayer. It's like, yes. And I had so many prayers of like, I'm going to meet my best friend there. I'm going to meet so many people. I'm going to join all these clubs. This is going to be amazing. And let me tell you, it was nothing like that, right? I went through one of the most traumatic experiences in my life in that high school. Not only with a teacher, but with a whole administrative staff that made everything worse, blamed me, shamed me. So that was disappointing, to say the least. It was traumatic. And it took a lot for me to heal my heart and to be still in that soft, receptive space. And so, thank you, Summer and Susie. Yes, thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, we can understand. And so let me talk about this mantra that we're going to do together. And I was going to ask you to bring your mala beads, but I was like, mala beads have 107 beads, and I really want to chant 100 times. So I was just going to count, but then I realized I have I have many rosaries. This is my Mother Mary Miracles Rosary. It has an ankh at the end. So this isn't like a traditional rosaries. But rosaries, if you know, have 50 beads, right? And so I was like, I can use this twice to count the 100 mantras that we're going to do together. So I'll keep count. But this is what we're going to, if of course you have free will, you don't have to do this. But if you're called to do this, the mantra that we're going to be chanting is the mantra that Mother Mary gave me, right? I am blessed and I am a blessing. And the purpose of this is the process. I wrote it down. First, we're going to call on self-compassion, because a lot of judgment might come up as you chant this mantra. I don't even mean judgment for others, but judgment for yourself or for your life or for where you're at in your life. And maybe it won't, but if it does, it's always a good idea to call on self-compassion, because remember, even though we are divine beings having a human experience, we have an ego. We have an ego that's always looking outside of ourselves, is always comparing, is never satisfied, is always comparing us to our other people. It's always saying you're better than or you're less than. So it's very normal that as we chant this very powerful mantra, I am blessed, that things might come up. Even like ancestral burdens. We can have ancestral burdens around victimhood, around being the oppressed one, that those that are blessed are actually mean or abusers. There's a bunch of baggage around that we're cleaning up. I am blessed. You're chanting that for you and for the world. And I am a blessing. And so that part of the mantra is really like saying, yes, I'm here to serve. Yes, I'm saying yes to the blessing that I am for the world. And so first, call on self-compassion. Then I wrote, intend to remember you're blessed and that you are a blessing. And along with this, it could be, well, you could become curious about, who are you here to bless? Yes, we're here to bless everyone. And as I talk about a lot, is you also have a unique soul's medicine full of unique blessings. So there is a specific area that you've been so gifted to bless others in. And a big hint is, where have you suffered? Where have you had to really stretch? Where have you hurt? Because a lot of times that has been, sorry, I have like this little hair on my lip. That has been the training to be the blessing for that. We're going to chant the mantra 100 times and then use it throughout the day. I also want to say that one of the things that Mother Mary told me was that as we chant this mantra, we're also opening to receive 100 blessings. Now, obviously, we're blessed like 100 million times. But there was something about receiving 100 blessings. Now, do not get overwhelmed by that. If you want to later today write those down, totally do that if that brings you joy. If you're like, I can't even think of 100 things, maybe you're like, I can think of 10. 100 feels like too much. But it's like, if Mother Mary, if the Divine Mother, and Mother Mary represents the Divine Mother, right, is saying like 100 blessings, and we're like, let's open to those 100 blessings, because what's going to happen when we open to those 100 blessings? They're going to multiply, they're going to expand, and we're going to overflow for blessings for the world. So what area in your life are you feeling like, oh, I want more blessing here? Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your business. Maybe it's your relationship with yourself. Maybe you're like, I struggle with just really judging myself. And you're like, I want to be blessed with so much self-love. I want to be blessed with so much that energy of abundance. I want to be blessed with joy. I want to be blessed with physical healing. I want to be blessed with generosity. Maybe you have felt in your life so like people taking from you that it's hard to be generous. And that's okay. I've gone through that. And so maybe you want to be blessed with a generous heart, knowing that as you do that, you're going to receive so much blessing. Maybe there's something more specific. You're writing your book, you're finishing your book. You want to be blessed with more feeling safe to share your artwork, right? There's so much. And if you're like, I'm blanking out, literally right now, my mind can't think of anything, that's okay. So don't panic. It'll come later. So we can just say, as we chant this mantra, whatever it is that you need blessings in, it's going to help that. And if there's people in your life that are suffering that you're really concerned about, of course, we include them in this. But I want you to remember that as you receive this for yourself, as you tune in to awakening this divine technology of you being a blesser, of you receiving these blessings, that is when you become like the tuning fork for the whole world and for those people around you that you love so much. That just by being in your presence, just by being near your thoughts, the thoughts that you're thinking, they elevate. Okay? So we're going to do this together. And then afterwards, I have some oracle cards that I will pull. So if you happen to have a rosary nearby or mala beads, if you want, it helps you keep count. I will keep count. Feel free to have that. And I will lead us through this. Okay? And so I invite you first to take a few deep breaths. Let yourself really just become aware of your whole body, your feet, your knees, your hips, your womb, your heart, the crown of your head. And if you feel a lot in one part of your body, like maybe you feel a lot in the crown of your head, just kind of like with your breath, try to even out that energy. Just like, oh, okay, just with your breath, with your awareness, you're like, okay, I'm just letting that energy flow throughout my body. Welcoming these beautiful roses, the beautiful energy of the roses. That is such a part of Mother Mary's medicine. The pink and the red. And let's take a moment to visualize these beautiful roots of light going down your legs and out the bottoms of your feet, deep into the heart of the earth. So we're anchoring in this mantra into your life and into the earth. And then through these roots, breathe in this beautiful energy, this beautiful blessings. So I'm hearing Mother Earth say this. I'm just asking for blessings for divine technology because that just turned dark. So if somebody could just write in the comments that you can still see and hear me, that would be so lovely. And so I hear Mother Earth, right, wanting to bless us as well. So receive that blessing through the bottoms of your feet from Mother Earth. That blessing coming through you to your legs, up your spine, up to the crown of your head. Thank you so much, Susie, Summer, Jan. Yes, thank you for letting me know. So we're very grounded here. And then bringing your awareness to your heart. Maybe bring the palms of your hands over your heart as I'm doing. We welcome your beautiful soul to be here. Your soul who embodies blessing. Your soul who's always in this receptive mode, who's constantly being blessed by the divine. And because your soul is always constantly blessed, it overflows with blessing. And so welcome your soul that loves you unconditionally right now in this moment. Whether you feel blessed or you don't feel blessed, whether you feel compassion or you don't feel it, wherever you're at, your soul loves you, loves you, loves you, loves you, loves you. And as we welcome your soul, we also welcome into this space all those divine beings that are your blessers, your guardian angels, your archangels, the ascended master guides that are your unique spiritual guides that love you unconditionally. We're not interested in guides that have an agenda. We're here welcoming those divine spiritual guides that love you unconditionally and are overflowing with blessings for you. They are your allies. And I call as a circle of grace and light and empowerment around everyone here live, everyone who will ever watch this replay. I welcome beautiful Mother Mary, her true teachings removed from any religious dogma. Just we welcome all of these ascended masters, beautiful Mother Mary, beautiful Kuan Yin. We welcome beautiful Mary Magdalene, beautiful White Buffalo Woman and Isis and Hathor, Green Tara and Kali Ma. We welcome beautiful Bridget and Queen Maeve. We welcome beautiful Eru. We welcome beautiful Lakshmi. We welcome beautiful Guadalupe and Ishel. We welcome those divine masculine counterparts, including Ascended Master Jesus, Mahavatar Babaji, Krishna, Lord Buddha. And these ascended masters are surrounding us now with their love, with their blessing, with their mirror, mirroring back to us who we truly are. We welcome, outside of that circle, another circle of your enlightened ancestors, all of our enlightened ancestors. Again, these are ancestors who have awakened, who have remembered who they are, who want nothing from you. They are here as your allies, as your mirrors. We welcome them. We welcome your star family, those enlightened beings that hail from the stars that love you unconditionally, mentoring your divine mission here on earth. We welcome your spirit animal guides, including the butterfly that showed up so generously for us this morning or when we began, including all the winged ones, the eagle, the condor, the hummingbird, the raven, the crow, the owl. We welcome the buffalo, so sacred and grounded and abundant. We welcome the snake, her true medicine of transformation, transmutation, shedding, making space for the new growth. We welcome all the plant medicine from all the lineages represented here, the true plant medicine, the flowers, the herbs. We welcome the trees. We welcome the divine waters. And so notice yourself standing in the center of that. All of this love, all of this grace, all of this blessing here for you, here in honor of your decisions, of your yes. Here, knowing that as you receive this blessing, you overflow with blessings for the world, for those who are in such suffering and pain that they've forgotten, for those that perhaps it is hard for us to love at times, for us that perhaps it is easy for us to judge at times. We are really claiming that revolutionary intention that we may be a blessing to everyone, to all, not just the people we like, to all, to whoever the divine guides us to bless in a sovereign way. And so I picked up this beautiful rosary, starting with this, what would be the guru bead in a mala bead. This is actually Mother Mary's beautiful image. She's wearing this beautiful crown. And just, I'm going to remind you the process first. Call on self-compassion. You literally can just say, I call on self-compassion as I chant this mantra. Compassion for any parts of you that have resistance to declaring that you are blessed and you are a blessing. Sending those parts so much compassion. And then set the intention. I intend to remember that I am blessed and I am a blessing. If you feel ready to intend that, set that intention. It's okay if you have fear. You can be very honest, like, I'm a little scared, I'm a little nervous, but I want to remember that I am blessed and I am a blessing. And then also now, say, I am open to receiving those 100 blessings that are here for me today. Those 100 blessings that are part of your abundance vortex already, right? That if you're like, what's an abundance vortex? Just think of it as this like treasure chest that you have been praying for, you have been longing for, you have been intending. And your soul, the divine, has been gathering. They are there. So saying, yes, I am open to those 100 blessings. And I'm going to give you a moment. I'm going to be in silence for a few moments here. If there are specific things that come to your heart right now, have a conversation with God, with the Divine Mother, with Mother Mary, with your soul, whatever feels right for you. Asking for that. Oh my gosh, and the church bells are literally ringing as I say this. So let's be in silence for a few moments. Where do you want to be blessed? What are those 100 blessings? Okay. Okay, no worries if your mind went blank or if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm still naming them. It's okay. The divine knows what they are. And I'm really feeling Mother Mary wanting to sit with us as we chant this mantra. So if you're open to her presence, and it's okay if you're not, you can always call on another divine being or just be here with your soul. But I'm really feeling Mother Mary with these roses. She's got her own rosary chanting along with us, along with you specifically, as we begin. And what we're going to say is, I am blessed and I am a blessing. Okay? So we're going to do that together, and I'm keeping track. I will tell you when we go through the first round, which will be 50, and then we go to the next one. Okay? So let us begin. I am blessed and I am a blessing. 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 That was 50. So we're going to start the next round. I am blessed and I am a blessing. I am a blessed and I am a blessing. I am 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 blessed, 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 and I am a blessing. So take a deep breath. Hear that mantra vibrating through your cells. I am blessed, and I am a blessing. Vibrating to your auric field, vibrating in your throat. See Mother Mary standing before you, or any other form of the Divine Mother or your soul standing before you. And she's got a bowl of beautiful rose petals. And she's so lovingly tossing these rose petals over the crown of your head, sealing in this activation, this awakening, this remembering, this attunement. As she says, you are blessed, and you are a blessing. Go forth, be the blessing that you are, be the answered prayer that you are. And just tune in and receive. If there's any message Mother Mary or your soul has for you, or even just an image, receive it in your heart now. And we take a deep breath. So we bring the palms of our hands together and we bow to each other. We end this beautiful mantra with a namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much. It really feels right to put on my blessing rosary. That felt really beautiful. If there's anything you want to share in the chat, in the comment, either in the chat here or if you're watching the replay in the comments, please do so. I love reading them. It's so helpful. I really felt my throat chakra opening so much. So we declared that together. I'm going to drink a little water. I'm going to pull some oracle cards as well. I know this is a longer episode, but that's okay. I do want to say a couple of things. I'll remind you. So there is a free masterclass this month. It's a 3-day one. So, let me read what. A cotton plant. Summer, that's so amazing. I love that. Yes, look that up. Jan, felt so much love flowing. Yes. Oh, Tammy, you're very welcome. Yes. I felt that too. The love flowing. I had this image of just like this battalion for the Divine Mother, right? My book that I'm writing is called Priestess Rise Up. And it just felt like I just had this image of like this war, this darkness, all of this, and then just all of us just kind of like with so much love and peace walking through the world with that mantra in our heart, right? I really feel that's how Mother Mary and a lot of these divine beings walk through the world. Mary kissed the top of my head and raised up my chin and said, head up. Oh, I love that. Katie, thank you so much. That reminds me of, I posted on Instagram, a lot of my posts I share with music because I love music. There was one recent that I shared, Look Up. I love that song. It's just like, it reminds me of that. So you might want to look it up. Jojo, feeling embodied joy. Yes, I love that. And that might be your blessing, Jojo, that you bless the world with joy. I can totally see that. And literally your first two letters of your name are the first two letters of joy. I just noticed that for the first time ever. But it's like, yeah, that's so beautiful. So what I was going to share was masterclass this month is a 3-day soul immersion. I'm so excited. It is a free 3-day event. Registration is open for that. Also remember that I have slots open this month for if you want to sign up for a free breakthrough consult. I'm having a hard time talking after chanting that mantra. And that's an opportunity for us to connect via Zoom and for me to really help identify what are the blocks or what are the areas that need support so that you can share your gifts with more impact and joy as you create your soul-led life, right? It's together, one thing. And there was another reminder, and I can't remember what it is. But if you're not signed up for my newsletter, I will put the link on the comments for you to do so because that's the best way to receive resources. I'll be sharing a blog about my pilgrimage in Ireland that was so life-changing. It was unexpected and life-changing, as many life-changing things are, right? They're not what you expect. They're what you need. And so I will be sharing that there and also just events that are coming up. I just want to give you a heads up that, as you know, oh my gosh, was it 10 years last year that I do a Guadalupe gathering every December? Well, this year it's going to be a little different because of things that I'll be sharing. Some of you know, but it's like, so I might have to do it in November. That's the short version. So sign up for my mailing list so that you can receive all this amazing information. Roxana, blissfully blessed. I love that. Yes. Okay, so let's pull some cards. I'm just going to be really abundant here. So if you're here, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull a card for the group. First of all, one card for everyone here live, everyone watching the replay was this one. Remember, go back to the beginning and listen to the message I read. And of course, you tune in yourself to see what that means for you. And I'm going to pull one card for everyone, like another card. Let's see, this is from the Wild Woman Rising. Oh my gosh, I'm getting like allergies. Sneezing. Oh, because when we sneeze, we're asking for a blessing. So I must, when we hear people sneeze, right? It's like, all right, here we go. What is the message for us? Oh, love this. The elephant with this beautiful goddess here. Remember kindness. Look at this. Look at how the elephant's trunk is touching her heart. I feel like this is part of the blessing we received today. Kindness towards ourselves, kindness towards others. And again, if you have wounds around codependency or people pleasing or rescuing others, there's no shame in that. I have all of those. Well, I mean, I'm much more healed, but I'm still healing those. This doesn't mean don't have boundaries, say yes to everything. Absolutely. Sometimes the kindest thing to do is to model our boundaries. Just say, I really don't want to do that. The answer is no. I love you so much, but no. So, but look at this. Beautiful. And look up elephant medicine, right? So I want to see how many of you are still here. So I'm going to pull a card this is going to be like speed card pulling. So because I really do have to get off and eat lunch, but I really feel guided to pull a card for each of you. So if you want me to pull a card for you, just post in the comments, yes, and I'll pull a card for you because I always want to honor your sovereignty I don't want to assume that everybody wants me to pull a card. So if you, thank you, Tammy. I'm not sure I know you, but I'm so glad that you're here. If you want me to pull a card for you, just write yes or please. Okay, Katie, here we go. Katie, you are getting a guardian angel card. I'm not going to channel a message because then I'll be here all day long. And I really have to go have lunch before a class I have. So, all right, Katie, what is your guardian angel saying? No fear. Notice when fear, doubt, and unrest creep in. Notice when you ensnare your soul in low frequencies. Draw your focus inward and upward. Meet me there. Oh my gosh, just like okay. And declare your freedom once again. I will not make comments. Here you go, beautiful Katie. All right, Jan, we're gonna pull Enchanted Forest card for you. And I'm just kind of intuitively choosing the decks. Jan, here we go. Oh my gosh, Jan, 2 came out, so I'm just gonna have to do 2. Perseverance, you have the power within yourself to conquer any challenge and come out stronger on the other side. Trust in your resilience and your ability to persevere. By the way, Jan, I have not forgotten. I know you have a reading that you won in the last time. It's coming. So here we go. Perseverance. And then don't hide. Oh my gosh, Jan, I love this. Dare to dream big. Remind yourself that everything is possible. Don't hide your talents and abilities, but use them to build your world. Here you go. All right, Summer, I'm pulling a priestess card for you, Summer. All right, this is the Priestess of the Light Oracle. Here we go. Summer, wings of light, becoming something new. Look at this powerful image. I mean, look at that. What number is it? 42. Amazing. Roxana, I really feel the guardian angels wanting to say something to you. So Roxana, here we go. Visionary, embrace being a brave trailblazer who is unafraid to challenge the norm and swim against the current. Oh my gosh, Roxana, this is so you. Don't allow doubt or others' negativity to hinder you. You are a potent visionary with distinct goals. Look at this. Visionary Roxana. All right, Chris, let's pull a card for you. I'm also feeling the guardian angels. Let's pull this. Co-creation. I love how these have all been male angels. Every step you take lies beyond your soul's memory. You're crafting a new world out of the unseen, and you must trust your inner compass. You're not alone on this journey. Beautiful, Chris. Jojo, let's pull Rise Up, a Wild Woman Rising. All right. Champion Peace. Oh my gosh, my friend Zoe and I got this card for like a week. Wait, who was this for? Jojo. Yes. Look at this. And I would look up the Luna moth on this card. It has very amazing medicine. All right, here you go. You're a champion of peace, Jojo. Tammy. All right, Tammy, we're doing the Enchanted Forest for you. Tammy. Oh, it's a dragon, and it's the year of the dragon. Okay, exactly as you are. The one who is always dissatisfied with the present moment will never have a better future. Give yourself permission to feel content right here and right now. This dragon is saying you are perfect exactly as you are. Look at this. So beautiful. All right, Susie, I'm going to pull one for you. Then Trish, and then I think I would have done one for everyone. So glad you're here. Wait, who did I, like the things are moving? Trish, right? Was that who I was? Oh my gosh. Can somebody please tell me where I was? It's like the thing moved. Did I just pull, who did I pull the dragon for? I got a little lost. Sorry. Was it, I think it was Tammy. So then I think Susie, you were next. I hope this is correct. Susie, okay. Susie, spirit of life, remember you are never alone. The spirit of life is with you. The world takes care of you. Allow yourself to rest in this realization and feel the lightness in you. That is so beautiful. So beautiful. All right, let me go up. Trish, I think you were next. Sil, I think you were a former student of mine, if I'm correct, like back when I taught 7th grade. Like, if it is, I'm sending you so many blessings. Like, Trish. Trish. Wait, Trish, you are getting a Wild Woman Rising card. I feel like I'm doing like speed dating, but with oracle cards or something. Trish. Oh, remember the little things. And she's got a chameleon. So, Trish, really take this in. You know, you have the recording of this, so meditate with it and see, what is this card telling you? Okay, and then I think Heather, I haven't pulled a card for you, right? So Heather, I'm pulling Priestess card for you. If there's anyone I forgot, please write yes. I think I did everyone. Heather, achievement, effort plus intention. And this is White Buffalo Woman, one of my dear spiritual mentors. If you don't know about her, look her up. Look at this. That beautiful white buffalo. Again, achievement, effort plus intention. That is so beautiful. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. All of you who were here live, all of you watching the replay. I mean, this was 100 episodes. We have so much to go. There's so much momentum that we've co-created together, whether you were here with me since the beginning. And some of you have been here with me since the beginning, like way, however, I have like 400 videos on YouTube. And if you know someone who would benefit from this replay, like let them know. The more people we gather together, the more we can co-create, right? The more we are blessed and a blessing. And again, I hope to see you next week for the podcast. This month for the 3-day soul immersion. We're immersing ourselves in our soul, with our soul. And if you want to schedule a private 1-hour consult with me, I would love to talk to you. Yes, so, okay, you are my former student from 7th grade. I am so delighted to connect with you. I hope you're doing so well. Thank you for being here. Summer, Cotton, Fortune, give and take, gratitude, receiving of a blessing. Summer, that's so perfect. All right, bye everyone. Mwah. So much love to all of you and see you soon. Bye.